The Dream Season Football League 6 is the series to determine the greatest dynasty in the history of the National Football League. And we have two of the greatest dynasties ever on tap from Bucksboro, Massachusetts this afternoon. Led by Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. The 2010's New England Patriots garnered 3 Super Bowls in 5 seasons. Led by the greatest coach, arguably in the history of the game. The New England Patriots battled the 1980's San Francisco 49ers, the dynasty that likewise led 3 Super Bowl championship runs, and one of the greatest quarterbacks ever too, in Joe Montana. The 49ers and the Patriots meet for the DSFL 6 Radio, Week 7 of the league year. Features 2 of the great dynasties in the history of the game, in the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. Alongside Robert Dieters, I am Nick Rice, Charger Dude 95. We are underway for what should be an incredible football game between the teams that want to combine 6 Super Bowls in their dynasties of the 80s and the 2010s, the 49ers and the Patriots. Tom Brady takes the field.
Tom Brady, what a legend, out of San Mateo, California, Nipero Serra High School and University of Michigan. Nick Rice, his first throw for the University of Michigan was an interception, fun fact.
Well, that's interesting, Robert Dieters. We will see exactly how Brady's first throw of the game goes here against the 49ers. James White gets crushed on the first play of the game by Hall of Fame linebacker Charles Haley. Well, to no surprise, the 10th Patriots rank 4th in the DSFL in scoring, 22.4 points per game. They go up against the 11th ranked scoring defense in the league. That is the 80s 49ers.
Ronnie Lotz, you talk about Bill Romanowski, a linebacker that is scary to face, and a man that has helped win Super Bowls for the 49ers, cornerback Eric Wright.
The 80s 49ers defensively, not only did they have Joe Montana to lean on, but this was the best defense in the NFL in 1987. Brandon Cooks on the inside gains 13 for New England and a first down. This defense has one of its toughest tests of the season today as they battle the high-powered 10's New England Patriots, a dynasty led by arguably the GOAT at quarterback.
Brandon Cooks, what a great catch, great route. As you could see, they threw the cover, and Cooks took advantage of that for the first down for the Patriots.
So Brandon Cooks, as we see the first throw of the game for Tom Brady, was not interception like his days in Michigan, pass to the post, dropped by Danny Amendola. But Brandon Cooks and the 49ers go up against the team in the 80s 49ers with Joe Montana, who had the highest Super Bowl quarterback rating ever. That record still stands. Jerry Rice, most receiving yards and touchdowns in NFL history. And Ronnie Lott was the first ballot Hall of Famer in 2000. So they go up against the dynasty that in their run, in their heyday in the 80s was incredible. They went 9-3 in the playoffs with 3 Super Bowl championships. And it's amazing that they didn't win even more, as this completion to running back James White gains 18 and a Patriots first down.
And James White this season has been terrific, 66 rushes for 253 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's tied 5th in the league.
Yeah, James White was just another one of the stable of running backs that were interchanging with Tom Brady throughout the run in the 2010s. On this Patriots running back roster includes Stephon Ridley, LeGarrette Blount, Dion Lewis, and Shane Vereen. Completion to Rob Gronkowski. He finds his man over the middle. 13 yards for the tight end out of Arizona. First down, Patriots.
Man, Gronk, a really tough tight end to cover. Also a guy hard to take down. Something that's going to be a really big issue for this Niners defense is the Tom Brady-Gronk connection.
Yeah, that combination of the 2010s was almost completely unguardable. And that is Gronkowski's 22nd grab of the season, which leads the team. Slant. Amendola wrapped up with a 12. It's a gain of 16. Ronnie Lott and Bill Romanowski on the tackle.
You know, you talk about the wide receiver core, and maybe it's not one of the best wide receiver cores you've ever seen, but one story that really does stand out to me is Julian Edelman. He is the type of man that was actually supposed to be a quarterback and moved to the wide receiver position and has seen so much success. And you can see how Tom Brady really does make his wide receivers stand out.
Yeah, I'll mention it just a little later. The 10's Patriots at wide receiver, it's amazing how they put that unit together. Brady is under pressure and sacked by both Charles Haley and Dwayne Board. Brady has rarely been sacked this season, but down he goes here by the 49er defense.
Yeah, the O-line cannot handle that defensive line. It's going to be an issue for Tom Brady. He's really got to get that football out of his hands.
Loss of 3 for the Patriots on first down. New England is in the red zone on their opening drive of the game. 2nd and 13. Screen pass to White is incomplete. The Patriots on third down this season are 32% in the league. That's 27th.
Man, you can see that the 49ers defense is just reading these plays easily. Tom Brady's got to throw something at him that's going to throw him off a little bit and get in that end zone, as they are in the red zone.
Second all-time meeting between the DSFL 49ers and the DSFL Patriots. Here's a quick pass over the middle, and it's caught just short of the first down marker by Josh Gordon. Nailed by Bill Romanowski. The incredible and very impressive drive to begin the game for the Patriots stalls inside the 5.
And a 4th and 1 situation in the red zone, and you're at the 3-yard line. Tough decision for the New England Patriots, but Josh Gordon, an amazing wide receiver, actually the only wide receiver in history to have back-to-back 200 receiving yard games.
And that was with the Cleveland Browns as the Patriots line up for the 20-yard field goal. Gostkowski. It's good. He hits his 5th field goal this season, 5 for 8 this year for the 3-time Pro Bowler out of Memphis. The Patriots wide receiving core, as mentioned, they are mostly comprised of trades and free agent acquisitions who are there for a year, maybe even 2. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers boast the 21st ranked passing attack. Led by Joe Montana, arguably the 2nd greatest quarterback ever behind Tom Brady, it's hard really to conceive that this team could go this far in the season with the 21st ranked passing game. Montana ranks 19th among all starters in passing yards. Let's take a look at the Hall of Famer from Notre Dame.
Joe Montana, a 5-time Super Bowl champion, has literally been the franchise player for the 49ers and has shown he is the true image of what a true 49er really is. I don't know if you can find anyone else better than him as a quarterback, and that has been in discussion with Tom Brady.
Montana takes a shot deep downfield, and that is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. The 49ers, 4th fewest turnovers in the league with just 4 this season. Montana has been able to not make the big mistake. Meanwhile, they go up against a much maligned 10 Patriots defense, 28th in yards given up this year, 354.5 per game. That has to be a major concern. Stephon Gilmore is the storyline cornerback for the Patriots defense, but they have quite a few Pro Bowlers back there in the secondary. 2nd down and 10. Montana from the gun, looks to his right, and his pass is intercepted. It's picked off by Aqib Talib, who's wrapped up with a 25. 5th interception of the season for Joe Montana. The Patriots take over.
And Aqib Talib with his 2nd interception of the season. Joe Montana making mistakes early on could cost them this game so far, but I mean, I know we're talking early, but Joe Montana cannot be making mistakes like that. But Nick, the Patriots secondary is so scary to look at, especially for an offense that's struggling 21st in passing.
Brady flips the pass on the right flat for his tight end and finds Gronkowski. Buns wraps him up after the gain of 8. Yes, that Patriots defense, with so many Pro Bowlers out there, make a big play for the interception.
And you could not make a mistake against this secondary for the Patriots. They will take advantage. The 2010 secondary for the Patriots is just horrifying.
Similarly to the wide receiving core for the New England Patriots, this team features a secondary with a number of free agent acquisitions who were there for just a season, maybe 2 years. The Patriots have Pro Bowl cornerback Malcolm Butler, who emerged as a former late-round draft choice. Darrelle Revis was a free agent acquisition. He was there for just about a season. Stephon Gilmore was also picked up in free agency along with Aqib Talib, who just picked off Joe Montana a moment ago. By the way, that highlight you just saw was the 60s New York Jets with a huge lead here at home in Week 7. It's a first down pickup over the middle to the 7 for Rob Gronkowski, who has been on fire for the Patriots to begin the game.
And Patriots are back in the red zone, making a big threat. As you see, Tom Brady finds Gronk right in the middle once again. This Niners defense needs to keep an eye on this man.
It should be noted right now, the DSFL 6. The Patriots are just a half game back of the division lead in the AFC East, led by the 90s Bills, who are 4-2. The Patriots are 3-2. First and goal, and Brady finds Gronkowski in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
And Gronkowski once again, Tom Brady finding his open man, and Gronk gets his second touchdown of the season. He already has 21 receptions for this team, the highest for the Patriots. And man, Tom Brady is looking solid in the beginning of this game. I just really I can't wait to see what this offense can put up today.
Yeah, despite all the influx at wide receiver and tight end over the years in the 2010s for the Patriots, Rob Gronkowski was a mainstay. He was the second-round draft choice in 2010 and lasted 9 full seasons for the Patriots and is leading the way for the 5th-ranked red zone touchdown offense in the DSFL 6, now with 11 this year. Patriots take a 10-0 lead.
Nick, Niners offense has to get it going. 21st, man, in offensive passing. That's something that the Niners are going to have to get their fear over, but against a tough secondary, the Niners really got to find a way to get in this game, put something up on the board this drive.
Deep kickoff returned from 2 yards deep. Joe Cribbs races to around the 26-yard line. The 1980s 49ers boasted an offense that was overwhelming so many defenses over the years. They led the NFL in yards in 1987 and in 1989, scoring 26.5 points per game during their dynasty. Last week against the 2000s Rams, we saw that firepower on display. Now, Montana completed just 46% of his throws, but he was remarkable against that defense, which has been pretty productive this year in the NFC West. On 1st and 10, Roger Craig takes the inside handoff and gains 3. The other storyline out of that NFC West is that those 2010's St. Louis Rams have won 3 straight games, and now they are nipping on the heels of the 49ers. In the NFC West, it goes Seattle at 4-1, San Francisco at 4-2, and then the Rams at 3-3. Montana from the gun, guns it over the middle and finds Brent Jones. The tight end wrapped up after a gain of 23. First down, San Francisco.
A big-time pass for Joe Montana, trying to get his confidence up. You got to get him boosted. Something like that, a long pass down the field, can get him going in this game.
There's Bill Romanowski, who was shaken up earlier in the first quarter, and Bubba Paris just got hurt, tackle from Michigan. So he will leave the game. 49ers, a bit short-handed with injuries, are already without their starting center, Randy Cross, with a dislocated elbow. And right tackle Harris Barton has been ruled out with a torn labrum. Montana checks it down to his tight end, that's Brent Jones. Spun down after a gain of 7. Well, so far, the first quarter of the DSFL 6 radio game has been dominated by the Patriots. After a Gostkowski field goal, Talib picked off Montana, and then Brady found his favorite tight end, or reliable Rob Gronkowski, in the end zone. 10-0.
Tom Brady has already been looking great. Special teams has put up points as well. You really have to give credit to the New England Patriots, both offensively and defensively.
Montana checks it down over the middle for Brent Jones, who gains 7 and a 49ers first down. Well, the San Francisco 49ers, that dynasty too, as we look at the Super Bowl banners held by the Patriots, was every bit as good in the 80s as the Patriots were for nearly 2 decades. These two dynasties have a combined 6 Super Bowl championships and have won 77% of their games. And that really brings up the question, as Craig gains about 9 on the inside. About what is the greatest dynasty ever? Is it the 49ers or is it the Patriots, Robert?
Man, Nick, you really give me a tough question and put me in a tough spot. But this is just two dominant dynasties. You talk about the 1980s 49ers, you talk about the 2010s Patriots, but you can also talk about those 2000s Patriots as well. And Joe Montana with 5 Super Bowl rings is just a major accomplishment. And we go to Tom Brady's rings as well, as he's won 6 of them. And I just can't believe what Tom Brady has done with his career. He's really was a true underdog his entire career, and he really showed up and proved himself as being a franchise quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, and Aqib Talib. There's a look at those numbers for the DSFL this season for those guys. They are the top players that were not on the 2014 championship season for the Patriots. That dynasty that went 13-3 in the playoffs with 3 Super Bowls. They were there as free agent acquisitions after that championship run in 2014. Roger Craig was there throughout the entire 80s run as the San Francisco tailback. Last week against the Rams, he accounted for 100 yards on the ground and another 57 through the air with a couple touchdowns all-purpose. Roger Craig was remarkable and led the way for a San Francisco offense that enjoyed its best performance in terms of yards and points that we have seen in any game all year. But, of course, the Rams, on a game-winning field goal from Jeff Wilkins, defeated San Francisco last week 31-28. Inside run to Craig, and he is stuffed by Wilford. 3rd down.
Now, Roger Craig has put up top 5 numbers this season. 116 rush attempts, over 550 yards, rushing in 3 touchdowns. Last week he had 14 carries for 129 yards and man in the end zone.
Yeah, Roger Craig has been incredible. 3rd and 5, Montana checks it down and finds his tight end. That's Ron Heller. Wrapped up by Hightower, but the 49ers convert on the gain of 5. 1st down, San Francisco.
And the 49er first down.
And San Francisco is moving the chains after Joe Montana throwing a pick in their first offensive drive. This is really boosting the confidence. I believe using Roger Craig this game is going to be the big difference for the 49ers.
Wendell Tyler on the inside. And he gains 3. Jabal Sheard wraps him up. We have come to the end of the first quarter on DSFL 6 Radio. Patriots 10, 49ers nothing.
49ers nothing.
Two of the greatest dynasties in the history of the National Football League meet here from Foxborough, Massachusetts. For the DSFL 6 Radio, it's the 2010's New England Patriots who play host to the 1980's San Francisco 49ers. It's been a thrilling game so far. Aqib Talib picked off the pass that led to the Gronkowski touchdown. New England leads the game 10-0, but the 49ers are driving after that slow start and have a chance to cut the lead to 1 score. Our tally is 10-0 in favor of the 2010's Patriots. Robert Dieters and Nick Rice in hand from Gillette Stadium, and a sellout crowd from Foxborough, Massachusetts for some incredible conditions in today's game. Inside run to the highly touted tailback out of Nebraska. It's a gain of 7 as he is spilled by Pro Bowler Darrelle Revis of the Patriots. Here's a look at the top performers in this DSFL radio game after the first quarter. Brady has led the way with a touchdown pass.
And Bill Romanowski did go out with an injury earlier. Hopefully he returns to this game. But Tom Brady, 8 of 10, 80% completion rate right now, and already has a touchdown this game, looking fantastic.
Montana to the end zone. Brent Jones has got it. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers are back in the game with a touchdown grab.
Wow, Brent Jones, great route. Tricked the linebacker on that one and made it in the end zone. He has been one of the favorite targets here for Joe Montana as he gets his first touchdown of the season.
The kicker on for the point after.
And now San Francisco goes the distance after that touchdown from Brady to Gronkowski in the same end zone. 12 plays, 73 yards in nearly 4 minutes. And there was a look at that struggling Patriots defense giving up the long drive. Bill Romanowski is set to return with a bruised shoulder for San Francisco too.
It wouldn't hurt to see Bill Romanowski not coming back in this game anytime soon, but it's good to see he will be returning alongside Bubba Paris as well.
So the injuries appear to not be too much of a factor for the 49ers, at least from the ones suffered early in the game. The return out to the 28-yard line. Danny Amendola, tackled by San Francisco linebacker Dan Bunce, a product of UC Riverside. Game update, we send it over to Glendale, in which the Seahawks, led by Tarvaris Jackson, lead the Cardinals 7-0. Doug Baldwin finds the end zone, and that has major implications for the 49ers, so they must be scoreboard watching that one, as the Seahawks have a half-game lead over the 49ers. Seattle's 4-1 in the NFC West. 49ers are 4-2. 1st and 10. Brady throws a deep crossing route and finds his man. That's a gain of 4 for Julian Edelman, wide receiver out of Kent State.
And they definitely have been. It's incredible to watch so many incredible dynasties over our time. And Nick, I know we were both born in 1996, but seeing 2000 dynasties of Patriots, 2010's Patriots, I think we just grown up watching the Patriots just dominate our entire lives. It's crazy to say, and I wish I could have been alive, at least to be able to watch with my own eyes, like live action Super Bowls of the 1980s 49ers and watching Joe Montana in action.
The New England Patriots have the worst rushing game in the DSFL 6. But yes, in the 80s, the 49ers led the way, but there were so many great football teams in the 80s too. But we're just, I guess, a little too long for that. Julian Edelman has a first down pickup here for the Patriots. Speaking of those 1980s, well, the 49ers won Super Bowls in 84, 88, and 89. Not just because of that offense, the defense was pretty good too. They have a Hall of Famer in both Ronnie Lott and Charles Haley on the defensive side of the football.
You know, even without a strong running game, if you have a quarterback that can really throw the football, that's what you need. You need someone who's going to be aware and be able to get the job done under center. And Tom Brady could be that type of guy. You see James White gets another big rush there for 9 yards.
And James White has been one of those few focal points the 49ers are trying to stop. James White to the outside has a first down, but a flag has been thrown. This could be a hold. Now legal block in the back. Brandon Cooks. New England has been penalized just 9 times this season. San Francisco only 8 flags committed all year. And that is the first penalty of the football game here today. Gut run to James White, hit by board, and is drilled by Ronnie Lott. As now New England faces a 3rd down and 5. Nick Rice, Robert Dieters. New England leads the 49ers 10-7. Brady shoots it downfield and finds his man to the 36-yard line. 16-yard hookup, tackled by Williamson. Danny Amendola, first down Patriots.
And Danny Amendola's already been a big target alongside Julian Edelman. And Nick, I'll never forget the catch that Julian Edelman made. An unbelievable catch against the Falcons, and I don't know how he caught that football in coverage with 2 men on him.
That was the second of 3 Super Bowls in the dynasty run for the Patriots. New England on the Malcolm Butler interception to seal that win in 2014, beat Seattle for the Super Bowl there. 2 years later, they come back down 28-3 to knock out the Falcons to win the Super Bowl in 2016. And then in 2018, in the slugfest, they knock out the Los Angeles Rams, led by Jared Goff, 13-3.
And this game so far has looked really good offensively for both sides, besides Joe Montana throwing that hiccup of an interception. But Tom Brady coming out strong. The running game is not doing that bad in this drive.
3rd and 6. He goes deep to Brandon Cooks, who slips through a tackle and is in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. Brandon Cooks, who played just 1 full season for New England, he's having a coming out party today.
And Brandon Cooks just ran off with that football, just broke through the coverage and just makes it all the way to the house.
Brandon Cooks has been a journeyman around the league. in the NFL. He was a product out of Oregon State, former Ram. He joined the Patriots for just one season and had an incredible year in 2017 for New England. That was the year in which the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It should be noted that New England, throughout their dynasty run of the 2010s, they won 3 Super Bowls, but they made it to 4. And that was the game in which Tom Brady set a record for passing, yet lost that one. 17-7 New England here today.
And Ronnie Lott was on the coverage against Brandon Cooks, and Ronnie Lott could not catch up to Brandon Cooks to stop him from getting that touchdown.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks really has just had an incredible season for New England, leading the team with 240 yards receiving coming into the game. But New England had a mismatch of wide receivers over the years, as Craig is wrapped up on the inside by Jamie Collins. Josh Gordon was traded by Cleveland and played just 1 year. That was in 2018. Julian Edelman was a 7th-round draft choice. Brandon Cooks played just 1 season as a free agent in 2017. Brandon LaFell was a free agent, played 2 years. Amendola, free agent, and played 4. Martellus Bennett at tight end was a free agent, played just in 2016. Montana on 3rd down throws incomplete. San Francisco will punt.
Joe Montana just not finding his wide receivers. Where is Jerry Rice to be found? That is a big-time question right now for this 49ers offense. They really need to get Jerry Rice involved in this game. But that secondary by New England is keeping him quiet.
Yeah, they must be triple teaming him or something, because Jerry Rice has made big plays the entire season, and that was to be expected. As you mentioned earlier, we weren't alive to see Jerry Rice ravage NFL defenses throughout his run. I mean, by the time, Jerry Rice played with Seattle when he was like 45 years old. By the time I'm 45, I'm probably going to be in a wheelchair. The fact that this guy was still catching touchdowns at that age, just incredible.
And man, we're going to be talking about when we're in our 80s, right, Nick?
Well, let's hope so. If dementia doesn't kick in, and I don't remember who Jerry Rice was.
I hopefully get to be alive to tell my kids about it. I can tell you that. My grandpa was a huge fan, went to every game at Candlestick, and I miss the days at Candlestick Park. I can tell you that for the 49ers.
Well, this is a pretty good stadium, too, Gillette Stadium. Brady goes deep to the 19-yard line and is sacked by Dwayne Board, who is having an incredible year. That's already his 5th sack of the season. 3rd down and 24 coming up for New England.
Yeah, and great job by the 49ers defense getting to Tom Brady so quickly, as you see Haley got there just in time alongside Board as well.
Yeah, dominant first half for the San Francisco defensive front. Their 2nd sack of the game. The Hall of Famer has 1.5. Brady throws a slant on 3rd and 24. Edelman is wrapped up after the gain of 11. You talked about it momentarily, Robert. So you were at Candlestick Park. I'm sure you have also visited Levi Stadium, correct?
I have seen both.
Oh, which one's better?
Oh, man. Usually I don't say but I mean, this is, I would have to go with Candlestick Park. It's just the atmosphere, the fans. I went to the 49ers versus Saints, and Alex Smith was in that huge playoff game. And Nick, it was one of my favorite games personally to ever watch as a 49er fan. And just the atmosphere of the game, the way Alex Smith played, seeing Frank Gore, seeing that like 2010's like 49ers. Such a fun moment to watch. And watching that last game at Candlestick where Navarro Bowman got the pick 6 to seal the deal for the last 49ers win in Candlestick Park. Never forget those type of moments.
Well, hopefully you can never forget the DSFL moments with these two teams. The DSFL 49ers in Season 1, they went 12-4, but were one and done in the series that determined the greatest single-season team of all time. That was the 89 Niners. 2 minutes to go here, 17-7 New England. The all-time 49ers played in Season 2. They went 13-3, but lost to the eventual champion Chicago Bears. In Season 3, they went 2-1, and in Season 4, the 89 Niners in the duplication of the series to determine the greatest season team of all time, as Joe Villano gets a sack there of New England. They went 6-4, but were one and done in the playoffs. They missed season 5, then here for season 6, the 80s Niners are on display to determine the greatest dynasty of all time. Fair catch made at the 42-yard line by Edelman. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, the DSFL New England Patriots, the 07 version, as Brady has had an incredible start to the game. The 07 Patriots went 10-6, missed the playoffs. The all-time Patriots competed in season 2, went 4-12. Season 3, the 07 Patriots in the series to determine the greatest team to not win the Super Bowl, 07 New England. They wound up winning the whole thing. They beat the Vikings in the Dream Bowl, the 1998 Minnesota Vikings, 17-14. And then in season 4, they lost the AFC Championship that was season 5. Season 4, they lost the Dream Bowl. Season 5, they lost the AFC Championship. That was last year to Kansas City. That was the 07 club of the New England Patriots. Best team in the last 20 years series.
New England is pushing that football downfield. Tom Brady is working his magic.
1st and 10 for New England, as this dynasty, the 2010's, has an incredible drive. 13-yard hookup over the middle to Julian Edelman, taken down by Romanowski to first down. But just to wrap up what I was talking about, these are two of the greatest DSFL teams, because every year there's a series to determine something different, either the greatest season or the greatest team ever, the greatest dynasty, the greatest non-championship team, and both of these teams were great at all those. There's a touchdown off the boards. Brady overthrows his target. It's incomplete.
That's only his 3rd miss this entire game, 17 for 20. They are threatening in this red zone right now.
2nd and goal. Brady unloads short and finds his man to the 5. It's a crossing route of 4 yards to Danny Amendola. The Patriots run up on the ball quickly with a 3rd down and goal. Brady dumps it off on the right side for Gronkowski. Touchdown, Patriots. He makes the leaping grab and puts the Patriots back on the board with 16 seconds to go in the half.
That is Rob Gronkowski's 3rd touchdown of the season. Beautiful catch. No one there to meet him at the end zone as he just walked right on in.
And Tom Brady throws his 9th scoring toss of the year. He's coming off a virtuoso performance in Week 5, a 41-24 win against the 90s Broncos, and they have continued that hot start to the season with another scoring drive, 24-7 for the 10's Patriots here late in the half.
Yeah, and they also have a big man called Martellus Bennett as well on this roster, and he was huge in a big Super Bowl win for the Patriots as well.
The Niners take over.
Kickoff return from Cribbs to the 32-yard line. And with 11 seconds to go in the half, we'll see if the 49ers, Joe Montana, can come up huge in this offense. They do have all 3 timeouts, pass rush coming, and Montana completes the short throw to the right, over-the-shoulder catch from the tight end. It's a 1-yard gain to Brent Jones. So now the 49ers may just have to heave one to the end zone here. Montana on 2nd down and 9. He's going to give it all he got down the field on the final play of the half. It's tipped and nearly reeled in near their end zone by John Taylor. It falls incomplete. These are two of the greatest dynasties in the history of the sport. They have a combined 6 Super Bowl championships between the two. The 80s 49ers and the 10's Patriots. So far for the DSFL radio, it's been no contest. New England 24, San Francisco 7. We have some other marquee games around the league for Week 7 of the DSFL 6. The 1940s Philadelphia Eagles, despite the loss last week, they still sport the best record in the NFC outside of Dallas. Meanwhile, in the AFC North, the first of 2 meetings pits the Steelers and the Ravens this year. Winner takes first place in that division. The Bears will not play the Bears in Week 7, so I might as well talk about the game on tap here this afternoon. The 80s 49ers find themselves down by 17. Tom Brady has had one of the great first-half performances we have seen from a quarterback in years. He found Brandon Cooks for 1 touchdown and then another 2 for Rob Gronkowski. Start of the third quarter, and the Gostkowski kickoff sails 2 yards in the end zone, where Cribbs will bring it back. Convoy to the 20. And he is stacked up at the 25-yard line by the middle backer from Purdue in Rob Ninkovich. The 80s 49ers, led by Joe Montana, have one of the great quarterbacks in the history of the game. He had a season high in passing last week in the win, or the loss. It looked like a winning performance against St. Louis. Yet here so far today, the 49er quarterback has been largely a no-show. Jamie Collins buries Roger Craig for a loss of 3. Third tackle of the game for the Pro Bowler out of Southern Mississippi.
And my 3 keys for this Niners offense to really get back in this game is get Joe Montana to throw the football, but get his receivers open. Throw something at this New England Patriots defense they're not going to see coming. Get Roger Craig more involved, but you got to block for this man, and at least get some field goals going. I mean, is there any way you could get out of your own side of the field? That's what they need to do at this point. This is what the Niners got to do. They got to they can't be killing clock either. That is one other big key in this game. Do not kill the clock. The clock is working against you when you're down 24-7.
Yeah, 17-point deficit for a team in the 49ers offensively that have looked a bit flat. Montana fires deep and completes the third down pass for 32 yards. Now they do lose their starter up front. Steve Wallace, a guard from Auburn, is shaken up as it's a gain of 27 downfield and a 49er first down. They may be trailing by 17. But the 49ers do pose a threat. Even though they've struggled this season, they do pose a threat to come all the way back in games. San Francisco has Hall of Famers at wide receiver, of course, with Jerry Rice. And their 2 quarterbacks, Steve Young and Joe Montana, also have a gold jacket. Montana goes deep. It's a gain of 18 on the first target of the game for the Hall of Famer, Jerry Rice. First down, San Francisco.
An 18-yard pass to Jerry Rice. Go to Jerry. That's what you love to see for that 49ers offense. And that's also a key I should have mentioned. Get Joe to Jerry. Get that connection going. It's like Brady to Gronk. That's what you need to get back in this game. And let's see what this 49ers offense could do in this offensive drive. They're already looking solid and they're coming out strong.
3-yard run here for Roger Craig. Well, the 49ers, that offense looked lackluster against this Patriots defense where they just simply couldn't move the ball. And now here they are with an incredible drive to make this thing a game again. 13 yards on the slant and another first down pickup from Montana to Rice.
Man, I thought Jerry Rice almost dropped that one for a second, but he kept it. He kept it solidified, kept it solid, and got the first down for the 49er offense.
32 catches for over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's the numbers now of Jerry Rice, which is second in the league, only behind San Diego's Lance Alwood. Slant to the inside for Freddie Solomon, who is spilled at the 5. On a drive of just over 2 minutes, the Niners are knocking on the door, threatening at the 5-yard line of the Patriots. Here's a draw, and Craig gets buried yet again. 2-yard run on the tackle from Jamie Collins. Goal line package now for the 80s 49ers, down by 17 on the road. 3rd and a long one. Montana hands to the inside for Craig, and he is nailed for a loss. Taken down by Devin McCourty.
Nick, I say it again and again, but this Patriots secondary is just proving me right. This entire game has been dominant all night long and has a huge stop against Craig. Craig nowhere to go through and get to that end zone.
Field goal from Mike Kofer. He has yet to miss a kick this season, and he nails another one. 14 for 14 this year for the kicker out of North Carolina State. 23 for 23 if you include point after tries, and our score now is 24-10. Well, at least San Francisco showed a pulse. A 3-minute and 1 second long drive to begin the second half. Amendola from the 5 brings back the return to around the 30-yard line. The 2010's New England Patriots, boasting the league's 4th highest scoring offense, is back out there.
And Tom Brady's got to be feeling pretty good. If you're the Patriots offense, you want to kill this clock, but I know with the Patriots, they don't have the best running game in the DSL. As you said, the worst, but let's see what James White in this offense can do. I mean, they do got Stephen Ridley in there as well. I haven't seen much of this entire game.
Yeah, he's yet to have a run for the New England Patriots. White is in the block. Brady throws a slant and completes the 7-yard throw to his slot receiver, Danny Amendola. And he certainly put the slot receiver back in style, did Tom Brady, throughout his run in the 2010s. In fact, in the 2000s New England Patriots with Wes Welker and company, the slot receivers were pretty good too. 8-yard gain to White. And the running back grabs another one. That's his 9th reception of the season, which makes him such a lethal threat out there at the running back position, catching passes. Tom Brady had spread the wealth no matter who he was throwing the ball to. It seemed he was incredible. White on the inside gets buried at the 49-yard line by Bill Romanowski, who is a member of the Super Bowl champions, the Oakland Raiders, and of course the 49ers throughout their incredible run. 3rd down and 2. Brady feeds to the inside for his running back, and Stevan Ridley's first carry of the game is 3 yards and a first down, tackled by Michael Carter.
They don't got the receiving running back in there, James White, but Stephen Ridley, big body in there, gets the first down and moved those chains.
Well, the Patriots offense, with certainly the greatest quarterback in the history of the sport, with little dispute there, they also have an offense that up front featured Pro Bowl guard Logan Mankins, then a bunch of interchanging pieces out there. 1st down and 10, Brady completes the slant. There's Amendola. He is having a tear right now, 22 for 25 in completions. The pass protection is a big reason why. His starters, Nate Solder, Sebastian Fulmer, Shaq Mason, and Dan Connolly. 2nd and 3. And Brady's pass is to the running back for 2 yards. There's Ridley.
That's a gain of 3.
And the 49ers offense on the sideline really needs their defense to come in clutch right now and get their offense the football to get them back in this game.
Meanwhile, there's a look at arguably the greatest coach in the history of the game, Bill Walsh. He is a 1993 Hall of Fame inductee. Bill Belichick will be a future Hall of Famer. In fact, Belichick comes into this football game 3rd in the history of the NFL in wins. Don Shula's first, and who knows, maybe he catches him by the time he retires. 1st down, James White and the New England Patriots.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Bill Romanowski's got to get some big-time tackles in. He's the anchor of that defense alongside Ronnie Lott, but you got to stop this running game from getting first downs. But Tom Brady also keeps throwing the football. He's not afraid to do that in this offensive drive.
The 2010's New England Patriots in the DSFL 6 are 3-0 at home. Meanwhile, the 80's 49ers are 2-0 on the road with wins at the Jets and at the Giants. And they're back here on the East Coast. Gut run to White, that's a gain of 2. Taken down by Buns at the 33-yard line. 2nd down. Patriots are mustering up another drive late in the 3rd quarter. It's a methodical march of already over 3 minutes. Shotgun. Brady dumps it over the middle and throws another completion. He has been on fire today, 24 for 27. It's a record start for Tom Brady in the passing game. 3rd and 5, Brady, that time his throw is dropped. Edelman couldn't hang on. So now Gostkowski, who has struggled throughout the season, he has the lowest field goal percentage among kickers this year, 47 yards, and this one is good. The Patriots take a 27-10 lead.
Gostkowski did not have the best stats going into this game. Field goal percentage-wise, he was 32nd in the league.
Yeah, so worst among active kickers, but he is 2 for 2 today, now 6 for 9 on the season. And the kickoff is down by Joe Cribbs for a touchback. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Montana has had decent numbers today. This would be one of the great comebacks we have seen in the history of DSFL radio if somehow San Francisco wipes out a 27-10 deficit. The Niners kicked a field goal on their previous drive. Montana begins the possession with a quick throw in the right flat, and he finds his man John Taylor.
Complete to number 82.
Gain of 3.
A 3-yard
Great job by Taylor getting out of. He didn't get out of bounds, and actually the clock keeps moving. I thought he got out and stopped that clock, but did not.
Roger Craig, a gain of 12 and a first down. And that will end the third quarter here from Foxborough. 8 minutes to go in regulation. The Niners have some work to do, down 27-10 against the 2010's New England Patriots. Both teams have switched sides, and now the 80's 49ers go from left to right of your television screen to start the fourth quarter. DSFL 6 radio, 80's Niners down by 17. Quick throw to John Taylor. 11-yard gain and a first down. John Taylor sustained a dislocated ankle in the Week 1 loss against the Arizona Cardinals. He took an early return to come back quickly to play alongside Jerry Rice and DSFL radio. That's his second catch here in the football game today. Gilmore takes down Jones after a gain of 6.
And 49ers need to keep this ball moving quick. They could not kill time. He's down by 17. You really just need a quick touchdown here.
Yeah, that was John Frank, not Brent Jones. Niners, as mentioned, Robert, are back on the football. Nick Rice, Robert Dieters here from Foxborough. Montana swings the ball on the right side for Craig, who makes the grab but loses 2. So now San Francisco faces a critical 3rd down and 5. They are 10th at 42% on 3rd down. Montana throws a seam route and finds his man. That's an 11-yard gain in front of Aqib Talib. Freddie Solomon makes the grab.
And Solomon, that was a low throw from Montana, but Solomon picks it up somehow and keeps pushing those chains for a first down.
Well, as mentioned, the 1989 San Francisco 49ers competed in the DSFL 4. That was the series to determine the greatest single-season team of all time. The 49ers came close to winning the title as the greatest single-season team ever in '89, led by George Seifert, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice and company, but they lost to the '85 Chicago Bears. In the DSFL 4, they would wind up winning the championship. Montana fires over the middle, and that throws incomplete. Well, these two teams are vying for the title in the DSFL 6 of the greatest dynasty ever. 3rd down and 9. Crowd is on its feet for the Patriots. New England brings 5. Montana unloads deep over the middle and finds a wide-open Jones, who shakes a tackle and is drilled by Talib at the 10. It's a 22-yard gain.
Huge play by Joe Montana and Jones. That connection right there keeps pushing the ball down the field, gets him even closer to that red zone, and gets him in the red zone and is going to get closer to them in the end zone. Hopefully, Joe Montana needs that football in the end zone to make this game close and make him within at least 10.
1st and goal. And the run inside for Craig gains 2, taken down by the defensive end out of Arizona State, Lawrence Guy. 2nd down and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Montana fakes the handoff to Craig. He looks end zone. Pressure is coming by Jabal Sheard, and he is sacked. Dropped by Sheard for a loss of 12.
Ball Sheard just made Joe Montana go back 14 yards. That is huge for this New England defense. This defense has just been getting stronger and stronger by the minute and has really tested this 49ers offense.
2.5 sacks now this season for the pass rusher out of Pittsburgh. A pulse in the fourth quarter shown by this defense, which has been reeling throughout the start of the second half. Inside run to Craig, who spins to the 16-yard line, and the Patriots deliver a 3rd and goal stop. 4:21 to go in the game, and it brings up a decision for Bill Walsh and the 49ers offense.
I think they're going to go safe, get that field goal, and put trust in their defense to get a big stop against Tom Brady to get that football back in their hands.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. the 49ers with a field goal would make it a 2-score game. They are going for it. Forget what we're saying in the booth, Robert. San Francisco is going for it right now. 4th and goal from the 16. Montana to the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Touchdown.
Dwight Clark makes the catch in the Patriots end zone.
A beautiful catch by Dwight Clark keeps them in this game, and look at that one-handed catch by Dwight Clark. My goodness. Put that on a poster
The
board.
kicker on for the extra point.
En route to San Francisco's 1984 Super Bowl championship, well, the 49ers leaned on Dwight Clark to make the catch in the NFC Championship game against the Dallas Cowboys. And here they are, Dwight Clark making an appearance again. So now Mike Colfer in the changed camera angle here will send away the kickoff. 4:03 remains in the game. The Niners are down by just 10. Kickoff is through the end zone for a touchback. The 2010's New England Patriots, led by that man, lead at 27-17.
Tom Brady 24-28 with 3 touchdowns and over 250 yards passing has just looked incredible today.
Yeah, Tom Brady, a Hall of Fame quarterback, has put together one of his best games of the season, but here he is on a broadcaster's jinx, nearly picked off. Only the 5th incompletion of the game. He came in at 67% completions on the season, was Tom Brady, and he has played even better than that so far tonight. 2nd down and 10. Stretch run to the left side for James White, who was stuffed for a loss. The tackle by Kevin Fagan and Bill Romanowski.
And Romanowski with the tackle for loss. That is huge for the 49ers defense. 3rd and 11. Got to take advantage of that weak running game for the Patriots as James White has nowhere to go.
Well, this brings up one of the most important 3rd down situations of the game. They need 11. The Patriots could begin to force San Francisco to use timeouts if they convert. Brady from the shotgun looks to his left. He throws a slant and finds his man to the 32, yet James White has been dropped by number 22, Dwight Hicks, 3 yards short.
And they did not have to use any of their timeouts, Nick, and that's going to really help them get back in this game and be able to get their offense flowing.
San Francisco's got a chance. In the second half, the offense kicked a field goal from Mike Colfer, a chip shot, and then, of course, on 4th down from the 16, Montana found Clark. A 1-yard return from Joe Cribbs sets up San Francisco at the 25-yard line. Special teams tackle by the Patriots in Stevan Ridley. 27-17 is the lead.
Joe Montana needs to either get a touchdown or field goal this drive and recover that football, or try to get an onside kick and get that football for hopefully another offensive drive for this team. And what a catch.
Incredible catch by John Taylor. This is the sort of situation you dream of as a quarterback, and there was no better in the 4th quarter for Joe Montana. Down by 10, the Niners have the football here at the 37. Montana guns it deep and finds his man for a 13-yard gain. It's another brilliant catch from Dwight Clark, the wide receiver out of Clemson. 1st down 49ers. 3rd play of the drive, Montana dumps it off over the middle to Solomon. He takes a tumble to the 39, tripped up by Talib with 2 minutes to go in the football game. We are set for what should be an incredible finish to the DSFL 6 radio from Foxborough. The sun is set as the 49ers trail the Patriots by 10. Montana fakes the handoff, goes deep downfield, and Gilmore was there, incomplete.
And 3 men in coverage. Gilmore is a dangerous man to be throwing that football near. I can tell you that. One of the best corners in today's game as well.
27-17. The Niners must score at least a field goal in this drive or the game is over. Montana on 2nd down and 10 delivers the slant to John Taylor, who's now healthy for San Francisco. That dislocated ankle of the season opener looks fine. Niners deal with the injury again. Shaking up is Steve Wallace. 3rd and 1 is coming up for the 80's 49ers.
if you can't get it, you got to go for the field goal and then try to recover that football. Either way, they got to recover that football and get that football back. But I think the touchdown make you feel a little bit better going in that onside kick.
3rd down and 1. Montana downfield. Incomplete. And now the Niners are down another starter. That's Ayers for the 49ers, who has been hurt. As now San Francisco will bring out the field goal group. Kofor from 47. That kick is good. That's his 3rd straight field goal of the season from beyond 40. He is now 16 for 16.
And Kofor has just been phenomenal this season on special teams for the 49ers. It just has not missed, and hopefully he can keep that consistency going all season.
And this kickoff bounces off of the crossbar for a touchdown. Tom Brady has been remarkable. Now, he had a much hotter start in the first half than we see in the second half. But here come the Patriots. They can all but win the game with just 1 first down. They need the 35 to finish off the 49ers. We'll see if they can do it. The Niners did not go for the onside kick, as Robert was alluding to. Here's the run and a gain of 5. Timeout.
Niners got to just try to stop this clock, and they only got 1 more timeout here, so that clock is going to be winding down for the Patriots, and 49ers might still have a chance here as long as the Patriots do not get a first down.
Motion for James Devlin. It's an inside run to White, who is met and dropped by Charles Haley at the 34. Timeout is used, and the game comes down to this. The Patriots knock out the 49ers with a 1-yard gain. San Francisco, with a stop, gets the ball back out of timeouts with a chance. Here's the inside handoff to James White. He gallops to the 40. It's a gain of 6, and the game is over. White didn't have a spectacular performance, yet he moves the chains to finish off the 80s 49ers. The Patriots are going to win the game.
And you got to give credit to the Niners offense and, the second half performance. They really try to get back in this game. They really put together, the 49ers offense put some great drives together. The defense just did not hold them for potentially one last drive for Joe Montana and the 49ers. But you got to say a great game for both squads. Patriots came out strong offensively. Tom Brady looked phenomenal.
And with the win, led by Tom Brady, the 2010's New England Patriots are now tied with the 90s Bills atop the AFC East. The Bills visit the Jets in Week 7 of the DSFL 6. Full highlights of that series will be coming out tomorrow for Week 7, but the series week begins with a radio win for the 10's Patriots, 27-20 over the 80s 49ers. With the loss, San Francisco has dropped 2 straight to snap their 4-game winning streak to begin the year. They are now 4-3 and a full game behind the 10's Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West. Excellent performance from Tom Brady and the Patriots in the DSFL radio win over San Francisco, 27-20.
It really did, Nick. And, man, the rushing game for both sides, it just did not look terrific, but passing-wise, man, Tom Brady just found Gronk twice for the end zone, Nick, and that's something that's going to be huge in this DSFL league. If Brady and Gronk just keep connecting like that almost every game, you can guarantee Brady can just kind of swing away with this league. I mean, only 2 losses this season. Their last game was against the 1990's Denver Broncos, and they got a huge win, 41-24. Niners really came back and tried to make a comeback here, but, man, that offense for the Patriots is just looking better every week.
The 2010's New England Patriots got out to an incredible start. Talib had an interception, and Brady threw 3 touchdown passes to only 3 incompletions in the first half of this football game. New England led 10-0 before the Niners finally found the board. Montana in the second half had a valiant comeback, and it began with this touchdown pass here to Brent Jones, and then for New England's a running game that featured a heavy dose of James White, the play-action pass leading to this touchdown to Brandon Cooks. It was part of an incredible performance by Tom Brady, and the Niners defense had little answers. The two kickers extended the lead to, at the time, 14 before Montana on 4th down and goal, finding Dwight Clark in the end zone to trim the lead to 7. However, Montana and the 49ers simply did not have enough time to complete the comeback as James White in New England wins the game. Complete Week 7 highlights of the DSFL 6 is coming up tomorrow. For Robert Dieters, I am Nick Rice saying so long from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts.